Alright, this is my fifth update, I think. 8/3/2011. It's about 10:30 at night. Okay, so for this update, make this bigger. We got a new interface. It's not really working, but it's in process and it's somewhat implemented. Replace the grass with a cleaner tile. Replace a tree and rock pictures. Added a cliff set and two more to be added. You'll see this in a moment. Visuals to come. I'm going to also add a bush. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But there's a bush I have. I'm just going to throw it in. Some shadows. Don't know how I'm going to do the towers yet, but I'm going to have to draw some towers to get someone to do it. And some monsters. And then the different types of shots, like a flame, will look a lot different. And the way they shoot out. The interface, the pop-up options, I'll talk about that. That's where you click to make your tower. It gives you a little pop-up box. Lets you pick the tower, do upgrades, and sell the tower. The path is the thing I'm sort of focusing on in the immediate, is I've got new path tiles, which is actually making it more tricky. Determining the path size. This is something I need some help with you, Jeremy. I'll go over that in a minute. And do I want to just draw the paths on with paint or something like paint? Or do I want to make it where it could be like the last video, so click, 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 and make a path? Okay, so we'll just start. We'll go over the new start here. Okay, so new interface design, that's down here. Much cleaner than before. Pause the game, main menu, shows your score, how many lives you have in cash. And that's essentially the interface at this point. You know, if you want me to throw in a spell book, maybe we could throw it in the corner or something. Here's the cliffs. So this lays on top of everything. The trees and rocks can lay on top of it, but essentially on top of everything else. Okay, so, alright, here's the new tree. Looks better than my tree, apparently. I didn't like my tree, so got an upgraded tree and got a rock. Okay, so we got a bush coming, shadows for everything. I'm just having a hard time getting them on, but I have the shadows. They're just pictures, I just have to throw them on. So the towers and the monsters, I'm not going to worry about that for now. That'll be one of the last things I deal with. Interface to come. That's where you click here to make a tower. You'll see a grid that'll be on the map. It'll be real. It won't be real solid, so it won't look all tile based, but it will be there. So you'll be easy to click where you want to put your tower. So you'll click here. A window will come up. Gives you the options to build your tower. You can click on the tower again. You can upgrade it or sell it. So that's pretty much how the game, I figure, is going to function. Now, let's see. Alright, here's what I'm working on now. This is really why I was posting this video in the first place. New path tiles starting to look much better, but it's kind of thick. Before it was way thicker. So I don't know if it's too thick. I can remove the cliffs or make the cliffs not so big in the corners and stuff. But, I mean, if I go down and go over and up and over and up and over, it's just, you're barely going to make it without not, you're not going to have any room for towers. So you can't even go back and then up and over and make space for towers. I mean, maybe a little bit. If this went a little lower, go up. I'm just thinking it's too big. So I'm thinking I might slim this down some. That's just not done because that's the other part I'll talk about in a moment. But so thickness, what do you think? Should this be bigger or not so big? I can make everything else bigger or smaller, but the path is a lot harder. So bigger or smaller path? Okay, so the next thing is where you have the path here, where I'm hand drawing this, as you can see. And I'm not done with it. I'm like placing all these tiles. There's a whole bunch of tiles, like 1, 2, 3 tiles. So I'm manually placing all these tiles. So when I change something, it's quite a bit of work to change it. I mean, it takes like 20 minutes or something to do this. It took me a lot longer the first time, but it should only take me about 10, 20 minutes to get this much. But I'm thinking I might go back so you can click, 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 have a path. Click, 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 have a different path. I'll have 2 or 3 different cliff sets. So the cliff sets will be on here. You can select whatever cliff set you want. Doesn't really do anything. It's just a visual, and then you can make your paths. So that's pretty much this. The other thing I wanted to talk about, Jeremy, was the editor, which I'm going to pull out of the phone entirely and just make it something that'll only run on the computer. And that's where you'll create the waves. You can edit the monsters. There'll be like 6 tower types. You do 6 different styles. Anyway, so you'll help me balance those, balance the upgrades. Well, you don't know it yet, but you're going to. And that's pretty much it. So I think it's getting clean enough. If you have any suggestions on this, I don't know if it looks that great, but it looks a lot better. I don't know if this should be darker, if I should have an outline around those. Looked at another game and they didn't. So anyway, that's pretty much it for now. Just let me know if you think this should be thicker. And that's pretty much my biggest question. Or is this too thick? Is this the same thickness, even though it looks thicker here? Alright, that sounds good. I'm out. Figure out how to turn it off.